what Rahm Emanuel has said about the public option in healthcare. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal, he said something that I believe is quite disastrous. He said, quote, "The goal is to have a means and a mechanism to keep the private insurers honest. The goal is non-negotiable. The path is negotiable," and saying that the public option is not necessarily going to be part of the plan, that they are looking for other options. And he said the one that seemed to make sense to him, and he implied the White House, was a trigger. Now, most progressives and most people who are healthcare experts view the trigger as a sham. What it is it says if the healthcare industry gets so bad, as if it's not bad enough already, after 5 or 10 years, then a public option will be triggered, maybe. But we've got a lot of loopholes. So it's a way of burying the public option so it never happens. So when I read the story that Rahm Emanuel was saying, hey, maybe we'll go for the trigger, and yeah, of course, public option is negotiable, and right now I'm ready to negotiate it away, I thought that is terrible and devastating news. Because if that's what the White House really stands for, then no matter how much momentum it has, and as I've told you a number of times now, polls saying anywhere from 72% to 83% of Americans saying they want the public option. You've got 60 Democratic senators, and the list goes on and on for how much support it has. If under these circumstances they still don't get it done, it means they don't want to get it done. And as I read Rahm Emanuel, I thought, here's a guy who doesn't want the public option. Not, oh, golly gee willikers, right? Oh, you twisted my arm. All right, I'll give it away. Because remember, the public option is already a compromise. What people who really want to reform the system wanted, I'm not saying me. I like the public option as a sensible middle ground, okay? But what they really wanted was single payer. And immediately the Democrats came out and said, oh, no, we can never do single payer. Oh, no, please, let's compromise on public option. So then, since they started with the public option, now the Republicans and the healthcare industry are saying, well, let's compromise away from the public option. No, but wait a minute, the public option was the compromise in the beginning. Now that's a compromise I like, because I think the public option is actually better than single-payer healthcare. But that's my opinion. I could be wrong on it, but that's the way I see it. But if you go any past the public option to this trigger that might get triggered 10 years from now, it's garbage. It's horse crap. So as I saw Emanuel saying that, I was like, oh no, there's an excellent chance that Barack Obama didn't mean a damn thing he said in the election. That he's going to continue to give you a half a loaf and pretend that he solved the problem. Oh, I gave you healthcare reform. Did it actually reform the system? Hell no. But hey, I passed the bill. Aren't I a swell politician? I got no interest in that. I think this is the defining issue for Barack Obama. Because if he compromises on this, when he has so much in his favor, then he's willing to compromise on anything. And you will get nothing but weak-ass compromise for the next 4 years. So, the reaction is very important. Well, after the story hit the papers and everybody went ballistic, Barack Obama, while in Europe, while in Russia, came out and said, take it easy, man. I'm not sure Rahm's got it right, and we really believe in the public option, and I don't want anyone to think that we're backing away from it. So there's two possibilities here. Rahm Emanuel actually told us what they're actually going to do, what they're really going to do. And the White House thought, what are you telling people for? What are you, stupid? Let's keep that hidden and then pretend we compromise later. Or the second option is Rahm Emanuel's off the reservation. Now, that might actually be closer to true, because according to inside sources, Rahm Emanuel has never wanted the public option, that he's one of the more conservative forces within the White House, and certainly more conservative on this health care issue, and that might have been his way of kind of pushing and nudging the administration towards not having a public option. If that's the road he decided to travel on by himself, that's a significant mistake. Because if Obama's not on that page, he's not going to like that kind of action. And the fact that he came out right afterwards to correct it is a fairly good sign. So what their true intentions are still, what they are is still up in the air. And that is absolutely pivotal, as I explained. Now, the other reaction is Democrats. Bernie Sanders came out immediately, who's been the absolute best on this issue in the Senate, and said, quote, Emanuel is dead wrong. The triggers are meaningless. The American people have shown in poll after poll their contempt for private health insurance companies. They don't trust them, and for good reason. how much do I love this guy? That's strong. That's not, hey, I'll negotiate away something, and oh my God, I'll compromise before the compromise and after the compromise. No, Emanuel is dead wrong, and the triggers are meaningless. And the public option, he says, is non-negotiable. I'll give you one more Bernie Sanders quote. I think it is fair to say that there are a number of us who would not be voting for anything resembling a Baucus-type plan as we understand it right now. That's referring to Senator Baucus from Montana, who's coming up with an alternative plan in his committee, including a trigger and not a public option. So Bernie Sanders drawing the line, saying, we're not going to vote for that. That is garbage. I love it, okay? Obama's got to go a hell of a lot closer to Sanders than Emanuel. We'll see where he comes out. I think it'll be all important where Obama comes out on this.